So listen, I'm here at the High Food Bank, and what we're doing here is we're raising money for this great cause. Look at all this food. They've got this thing called Walk the Line, right, where you walk around the borough, isn't it? And lots of people do it to raise money, but obviously with the whole lockdown, can't really do that. What we're going to do, we're going to get like a couple of treadmills, and we're going to walk the same distance, but we're going to walk it in a studio, and we're going to try and raise as much money as we can. You listening out there?
It's the first time we've had someone or an organisation offer to come and do something for us, and that's so exciting.
And I think it's a good idea to help other people.
I've had to use the food bank myself a few times, and I'm really grateful for it.
So please donate.
Good morning and welcome to AFTV News Daily. You've got myself, Cecil G. The energy is a bit flat today. I'm definitely still hurting from yesterday's result. Yeah, as you saw there in that preview, we're raising money tomorrow for Walk the Line, well, for a charity, a High Food Bank. We're raising money for them to offer food and resources to the in need during the festive season. So please donate. Stay tuned on AFTV for that event. That'll be tomorrow. We'll be walking the length of Islington. So yeah, now I'm gonna need support today. I'm gonna need James B by my side because my heart is hurting. It's still hurting. This is, as you know me, I scour the comments before the show starts. This is one that exactly how I felt yesterday and today. Bacon King says everyone out. Yeah, everyone, get rid of them all. Start again. Rerun, control, delete the club. Let's go again. But yeah, let's get into it. Listen, the energy should rise because I have James B by my side. Yes, my guy. How are you? Hello.
Mate, I am. Yeah, I'm genuinely, I'm lost this morning. This morning's show, by the way, is gonna be like a video essay where we all come together to just try and dissect what's going right, what's going wrong, what the solution, how we need to react, what the solution is. We need to chat. We need to chat about it with the fans. And guys, like, I know some people are here to troll, some people are here to laugh at us, some people are here to just vent their anger. I get all that, but let's like try and discuss this properly. Whether you're Arteta in, Arteta out, we all want the same thing, which is Arsenal to do well and succeed. And we will have differing opinions on how best to do that. Let's have it out. Let's talk. The whole point of this title, Arteta discuss. Let's do it. Yeah.
All right. Before we get on to that, on the AFTV app, on the AFTV VIP app, there's a poll at the moment that says "out of his depth?" Arteta. Now, a lot of people are saying yes, he's in over his head, and it's now showing 60. There it is. There it is. There it is. James has got it on his screen right now. Go over to the app. Let us know your thoughts and opinions. But you can do that on the app, but we can also do that here. This is like therapy for us. Let's discuss. Now, before we start, I've got a super chat from Mark T, a regular, bro. Thank you so much. I'm so bored of this Arsenal team. Ditto, bro. Fully there with you. The players clearly do not care about winning anymore. Who do we have that will set up for the team? No one. That will step up for the team. So who do we have that will step up for the team? No one. They are too weak and soft. First comment of the day, I'll keep on everyone's opinions and I'll be flicking them up. But that's first. I'm just gonna say, yeah, I'm definitely bored of the way we're playing. That's definitely the first. We're not exciting to watch. It's an Arsenal that, it's unrecognisable to me. I get it. The defence has improved. I understand that, but now we just want to see attacking intent. Like, it's not like we're not even attacking like with any intent, and I don't think that's even harsh. Like, do you know what? I'm gonna keep it as professional as I can.
Cecil, you were playing presenter yesterday. Yeah. So you didn't get to do a fan cam. I'm Robbie now.
No. We're not doing that right now. Maybe towards the end I might. I just need to because, like you said,
I was just take it all in first.
I was going to hear everyone's opinions, and because some things I would agree and disagree against. Like, there's a lot of things I would love to to open and vent about, but I don't want to lose my job. I'm very new here. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I just listen. There's a lot to be said. I want to discuss with everyone, and just like let's just vent. Let's just talk.
I also want this to be, because it's very easy to spend 45 minutes just on a wild rant here. As you said, that's literally why you didn't want to give me your thoughts just then, because you want to like be considered and think about it. And I hear all that, but I want this discussion to be the same. So, guys, I'm putting that out there. Some will join late, some will join. Some, obviously we see in the comments are watching now. Over 1,000 watching live, which is amazing. Thank you for tuning in. I want to break this down very structurally because it is important. It is really important. I want to be fair to Arteta. Look at what he's done right. Look at where things haven't gone his way, and he's deserves some backing and he deserves some credit. And then we'll talk about actually why he might not be the right man, why maybe we should be looking at replacements, and we're going to be fair about it. We're going to talk about both sides. No genders here. No whether you're in or out. Let's just break down fairly. I think we should start
Players as well.
As supporters should, by backing the manager, I think. And that's the first thing I'm going to chat about.
Let's get there in a second. Luca Lapola, thank you, Pochettino in. Cecil in, thank you very much. I mean, right now, the thing is, if I was a manager now, I'd get sacked. Because you know what it is? I don't want to be too, like I said, I don't want to be too harsh yet, because at the end of the day, we still have Tottenham next week, and I'm hurting now. I'm trying to keep it professional, and like I had to interview fans last night and speak to them and just get their opinions. So I'm calm. I'm not calm. I'm hurting, but today is today, right? Next week, I may be on a whole nother level of disappointment, hurt, and anger. So I'm just gonna try and keep it content as possible. Quickly, Melvin Nanama, I think the players have down tools on purpose in support of Ozil. He's still clearly very popular in the dressing room, which I agree.
There is a worrying correlation between our dip in form and the Ozil treatment. When that became very public, we seemed to lose our way. So maybe there's something in that.
Agreed. Nero says, James, West Ham have played City, Liverpool, Spurs, and are 11th. What is your excuse for this, Mr. Arteta excuse maker? Wow, straight to the point.
So it's a really good point.
It's a really good point. Yeah, no, you're right. Listen, this is what I've had a discussion with Robbie. We always talk about, it's the players, and blah blah. I put the blame to the players and stuff, and he's just like, we have a better team than most teams in the Prem on paper, and he's right. When you look at them, you think some of these players have been in the Prem for a long time. Some of them are international players, but yeah, there's other teams like West Ham, the Brightons, and all that. I know Brighton are below us, but West Ham's, Southamptons, all of them, like they're above us.
Right. Listen, teams who I personally feel have a worse squad than us, but are playing better football right now. Leicester, debatable, they might have a better squad, but I don't think there's a lot in it. Southampton, Wolves, Everton, Aston Villa, West Ham, Leeds United, Brighton. They're all playing better football than us. All of them. Every single one.
Mark T says, honest opinion, is there something going on within the club? Thank you again, Mark. Does it feel that it does feel that way? The harmony is not right to me. Thoughts?
Should we get into this properly now?
Yes. No, we need to. We're gonna get a super chats all the way through. I reckon. I want to read the comments as well. So, Kurat Singh says, what worries me more is that Arteta thought we played well yesterday. He lied about the amount of clear-cut chances we created and the amount of shots Wolves did. It's a joke at this point. Right. Okay. Right. You're right. You're right. Everyone's right here. I'm saying, Mark T, what you said there, I think there's something going on in the club. I think Arteta needs to get a hold of a lot of things that are going on, but I don't think he realises just everything. The scraps in training, Willian flying to Dubai, people catching COVID, international duties, the way players are being treated and how he's trying to handle if players should go to international duty. Like, there's so much going on before we get to the actual performance on the pitch. And you're right, I feel like the harmony's a bit off. We've got the Ozil situation, there's Saliba, like, there's so much issues right now that are unanswered. We don't know. We haven't got the answers to, and things are going wrong. That it's not. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's affecting the play, but it hasn't been resolved clearly because our players don't seem like they're fully switched on within the game. It hasn't been good at all in the performance. And as Kirat says, yeah, I listened to his interview. He's right. We only had 2 shots on target. Arsenal and Wolves had way more. They had a lot more chances. We didn't really have many clear-cut chances, in my opinion. I think we may have had. I know we had 2 shots on target, but I don't even say they were clear chances. I think we had 2 clear chances. Saka had one. And yeah, one of us. So yeah.
Sorry, that's big. I didn't. Yeah. Anyway,
Go on.
Thank you, Daniel Dennis. I think this rings a lot of truth. People need to realise the team is not Arteta's yet. He's working with some bang average players that he's inherited to push the team forward. Until they are gone, we won't know what Arteta's trying to do. Let's lose the shit we have, getting paid shitloads of money, and make a few good transfer windows of Arteta style players before we judge him. So this brings me on to the portion in which we're going to defend Arteta, and then we'll talk about where he has got it wrong. So
we're going to defend. We're going to do the for Arteta.
Let's stick up for him first, and then we'll
we'll break him down.
Yeah. The where I do defend him, and there's a lot of other things we're going to talk about later. And guys, please watch the whole show for judging sort of what our opinions are or anything. But I know that's an unreasonable request. The guy. Okay, look at the team yesterday. The only players that were him were Willian on a free transfer and Gabriel for £27 million at the back. They were the 2 best players on the pitch yesterday. They were. No question, they were the best players on the pitch. Willian's had a very, let's say it, he's had a poor season. He was a free transfer. The signing doesn't look good, but yesterday he was one of the better players. The team looks so far from what Arteta wants it to be, or at least we think what he wants it to be. The building of this squad has been an absolute mess from start to finish. And a lot of it happened when Arteta wasn't there. And he is still trying to fix these problems. Ozil on 350 grand a week. Socrates, Mustafi, even the Luis signing, who in fairness has been good in the end. The amount of signings we've made, the amount of players we've got that simply Pepe for £72 million. I'm sorry, we've got to say it. He's not a £72 million player. And the thing about Pepe, he is a good player. Whatever people say about agendas I have, whatever, I rate Pepe. Like, he's clearly got quality. But we signed him for £72 million when Zaha was available for 80 and Emery wanted Zaha. So at board level, we are not backing our managers properly. Arsene Wenger, everything he did at the club, getting top 4 every single season when we had that restricted budget, everything. Did he become a bad manager? Did he just become a bad manager? Did Unai Emery become a bad manager? Why was there no managerial bounce whatsoever under Freddie Ljungberg? And now Mikel Arteta. So is this just a coaching thing? The manager's got a lot to answer for. We're going to talk about that later. Guys, I'm going to keep saying it throughout the show because I know people will just lose their head, and I've got to keep saying it. We will talk about the things Arteta's getting wrong later. But I'm just looking at the other side now. Are we really saying this is all on the coaches? All of them are crap. They're all shit. None of them can do a job. Even Arsene Wenger, everything he achieved in the game, he was loved by the players. They backed him. The players backed him. The board didn't back him. Is that what we're trying to say?
You're right.
Sorry.
Francis, thank you. Manager is not. It's not about tactics only. It's about man management. Arteta might be good tactically, but man management is terrible. Arteta out, James in. There you go, James. There's someone backing you in. We're going to carry on to that point. Just hold your points. We're going to carry on there. It's quickly one as well from Kirat. Thank you, Kirat, again. I try to be as rational as possible. Same. But I need you to wake up. Wow, Leicester, West Ham, Everton all have more complete starting 11s than us. Don't say they don't a better team just because we're the Arsenal. Now, obviously, I'm just going to obviously say, I get what you're saying. I know. Do you know what, James? I'm going to let you carry on again.
Whose fault is that? But I'm asking, whose fault is that? Is that Arteta's fault? Genuinely, is it Arteta's fault that they have? I know what he means by complete 11. He means balanced. I know
Yeah,
exactly what he
yeah,
means.
yeah,
There
yeah.
might not be better teams in
But does that
better
take,
squads.
does that not take time to obtain the balance and the know-how within on a pitch as players? They're still like, I mean, it's been a while now, but they're still coming together. I know you can say they're professional footballers and they're some of them international. They should be able to gel quicker than what they are. But do you know what I mean? A lot of these teams have had a full season together, bringing in the
Balance.
like one balance. Yeah,
Balance is everything in football. Balance is everything, because you could see when we had Pepe, Lacazette, Aubameyang as a front three, and then we had a midfield of say Partey, Ceballos, Xhaka. You could see that there was no link man. There was nothing to get you from one three to the other three, and that's what we mean by balance. Yeah, those 6 individuals are all good players on their day. They can all do their thing, but there's no balance there, and that all comes down to horrendous squad building. It's awful. In the summer, loads of players are off. We know that their contracts expire. They're off. They're shipped out. Hopefully, then Arteta can start then getting rid of the shit he doesn't want, and then adding the players that I'm being so harsh on these groups. Like, they're talented individuals, but they're clearly not at the level that we want, and they're clearly not at the level, or they're clearly not the profile Arteta wants. But I can't fully judge him until I've seen him with the players he wants. I'm sorry, I just can't. At least with Emery, right? At least because people say, "Oh, but you didn't give Emery this much time." That's different. Unai Emery, he had 5 players in his first summer where he got Leno, Socrates, Lichtsteiner, Guendouzi, Torreira, all his players. He then sanctioned that appalling Denis Suarez loan deal, and then he got Ceballos, Pepe, Luiz, Tierney, someone else, Saliba, all these players. So he had about 8, 9, 10, maybe even 11 players influxed into the club for him. Now, where I sympathise, it sounds like he didn't get all the players he wanted, but he did get players that he sanctioned off as well. So that's where I'm more harsh on Emery.
Yeah. Okay. People will say, I'll come back to that actually. Sorry, I've just got to make sure I'm on top of this as well. Anwesh says we can't play attacking football with players like Xhaka. He is not a type of midfielder. Arteta knows that, so I guess he prefers El Neni and Partey. I feel bad for Arteta. It's his first job. Now, I'm just going to quickly because I'll do the comments. James, we'll stay on your thought train and your opinions, and you answer the questions that you're arguing. The comments, this one. Well, I agree. Xhaka is definitely not an attacking midfielder. Definitely not. Yesterday, I was screaming. James can vouch. I was screaming at the TV for the way he sees a forward pass and will turn around and play backwards or sideways. It's as a player, it's my most infuriating thing from a midfielder. However, when he played for Switzerland, it was very clear this is the sort of player he is. He just likes to do the sit-in and a defensive midfielder. That's where he's best. He played his last international game and he was praised for his performance. And that's all he did was sit, break up play, and pass to the side. That means you need someone next to him to go forward. If he preferred El Neni, then he should have played him. El Neni was available for yesterday's game. So that's a bit void argument there. Partey was obviously injured. I'm sure when Partey returns, we'll see the likes of Partey and Xhaka together. So that feeling bad for Arteta. Listen, I can't feel bad right now. I'm in a lot of pain. It's a big club. It's a big badge. It comes with a lot of weight. Like, I'm sure he was aware of that. He's played for the club. He's seen the likes of the greats play for the club and been under Arsene Wenger's management. So yeah, it is what it is. That's that comment. Sorry, I'm just gonna. Will they fly? Just give me 2 seconds.
Going off today.
Yeah. I'm just going to. Guys, keep getting your comments in. I am reading them. While James is talking, you can defend your points as well, and I'll go against them on Try Me Fast. Correct again. I disagree, Cecil. This team is 4 players away from balance. 3 midfielders and a left winger. If you're a big club, it should take a window to address it. We've been saying the same 3 years, let alone 1 window. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. Sorry, I do agree because if you. And sorry, this brings me on to my other point. Sorry for interrupting there, but this is really important, okay? People need to... this is so... Guys, please listen to what I'm saying here. If you disagree, that's completely fair enough, but I feel really strongly about this. Managers and how good they are, it's not a linear thing. So it's not like Klopp, Guardiola at the top with Poch and Mourinho, whatever, and then lower down, you get your Hodgsons and your Allardyces, and then lower down, your Pulis. That is not how football management works. Like with footballers, you get managers who suit certain clubs, certain styles, certain expectations, whatever, right? If we are sitting 17th, 18th, and we're genuinely in a relegation fight, I want Big Sam or Roy Hodgson to come in and try fix it. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
That is what they do. That is what they do as managers. So there's a bracket in between I didn't mention. You get managers who are very, very good. Pochettino proves very good at this. Klopp's good at this. Hassan Hootel, he's kind of the one that springs to mind in the Premier League at the moment. Managers are very good at taking a club, they have a decent group, they're all right, and they elevate them. They get more out of them. They find a way to play to their strengths, and they go, you know what, I'm going to adapt for you, and I'm going to look at what I got, and I'm going to get everything I can out of this.
Yeah, they do a lot with the little that they have. They do a lot with little that they have. Yeah, there's
exactly. Mikel Arteta is clearly not this kind of manager.
No way. He's never
on two things.
Yeah, he never would have. He never would have experienced this situation. Even if I'm not saying we're going to be in a relegation battle, it could happen, but he's never been that. He's never been at a club that's fighting relegation. He's never been at a club that. He's never been around the likes of. Well, Pep is his successor, who's above him, who he idolized and took from. He's never been in this low down in the table to know what it's like. So right now, if I'm completely honest, if I was Mikel Arteta and what I think was going on right now, he's probably scrambling right now. He's probably thinking, shit, like, I'm sorry to swear, but
he wants January.
Yeah. Well, Jack, listen, he may not even get till well, for us as a fan base, he may not even get till January. Do you know what I mean? He really might not. So sorry, carry on.
No, you're spot on, mate. You're spot on. There are two reasons why Arteta's not that kind of manager. A, if you just watch us and the football we play, it is so obvious. It is so obvious that he's asking the team to persist with very, very, very particular things. A, it's trying to overlap down the wings, get our wingers in on goal, make the cutback. Anyone who watched the build-up show will know we spoke about it. There's very clear patterns of play. He's trying to make our players. He's trying to instruct the attack. Now, I don't believe that's the best way to coach football. I believe attack should be fluid and inventive and instinctive. But he's clearly trying to coach it. You can see from the way he's got us playing out the back, or at least he did. That seems to have gone out the window now. But the way he got us playing out the back was very particular. It was very particular. You need to be standing here. And when you get it, you need to play it there. And then this person has to make an option. All these things are very specific mechanics that Arteta's instilled and put in place. They're not pumping up the pitch and hope, win the ball, and then press. It's not about instinct. It's about instruction. That's how Arteta works. And if you look at Pep Guardiola, who's a complete control freak, he was exactly the same. He was exactly the same. That's what Arteta learned under for the last 3-4 years. So anyone who says, oh, but you can't just assume he wants to be like Guardiola. Well, I think you kind of can. I think you can by looking at the way we play and by looking at who he's worked with. Where else is he going to have learned how to coach?
Agreed. Listen, Jeremy
wants to be like him.
I hear you, James. You're right. Jeremy Swaslin says, I feel down. I don't know. That's another good point what you're saying here. I don't even have faith that we'll get the players, man. Again, we're in a Europa League freaking group stages and we're halfway down the bottom of the table. Attracting players is going to be a problem going forward in January. Blitz Monster 1 says, sorry, I couldn't pop it up. Blitz Monster 1, thank you again. I know you're a regular. Imagine you own $1 billion company and you give your son with no experience of his own and you expect him to manage it successfully. If the only thing you need to be a manager, I'm qualified too. So yeah.
I get what they're saying.
Yeah, so he said, yeah.
But that leads nicely onto my next point, which is I did allude to it earlier, but look at the money that Lampard and Ole have had to work with, because they're very similar. Inexperienced coaches, but in fairness, they have more experience than Arteta, who have come into their clubs and they've been backed. I had Man United fans in the comment section yesterday saying, oh, you think Ole's been backed? Yeah, I do, actually.
Yeah.
£204 million spent on his first full season, with Maguire for 80, Bruno Fernandes for 50, Aaron Wan-Bissaka for 50, and Dan James for 16 million. He then got Donny van der Beek for 35, Amad Diallo for up to 35, and Alex Telles and Edison Cavani in a free, who would have been on big wages. You're trying to tell me he's not been backed? What, just because he got... Man doesn't get Jadon Sancho and suddenly he's not backed. Are you joking?
a joke. It's a joke. Just
He
yeah,
might
it's a
not
joke.
got the players he didn't want, but he got funds and he got backed and he sanctioned
Yeah.
all those transfers.
So-
Do you think
so
Arteta's
this-
had anything like that to work with?
No way, and this was my argument yesterday as well when I was speaking to Rory. We were both agreeing again. It was just saying that, like, yes, United are a different team, but they've lost against us. They've had bad times and they've been turned on by their fans and whatnot. But they also have a group of players that they're at elite level, so they can play really bad, lose, have a bad couple of weeks, but when it really matters, they can turn it on. And I would expect that from the great Arsenal. But looking at all our performances, you think who's turning up? Who's gonna try and salvage this game ever? Like I've watched every game deeply, and there's no nothing, no creativity, no inspiration. Do
you think it's cheap to assemble that?
No, of course not.
I mean,
Lurie, thank you for your chat.
Yeah, by the way, some great super chats coming in. I'm just going to make this point, and then we should go through a few because they're really good. But just very quickly, we talk about creativity in midfield, right? We talk about not having that profile of player. United, Pogba was 90 million, maybe 80 something, 90 million. Bruno Fernandes, 50 million. Juan Mata, 35 million. Donny van der Beek, 35 million. Let's go to Chelsea. Kovacic, 40 million. Christian Pulisic, 57 million. Ziyech, 25, 20, 30 million or something. Kai Havertz, 80 to 90 million. This is not easy to assemble. And what you want Arteta to just click his fingers and Joe Willock play silky football?
In half a season.
I'm picking on Willock because he's not that profile of player, not because I don't rate him. Yeah, in less than 12 months in the job with one proper summer transfer window. Come on, guys. The Cronkies need to help him.
Yeah, and at this point,
properly.
At this point, people, just remember we're on the side right now of for Arteta. There's definitely an argument for against. It's gonna be a long show. But right now, I'm just gonna take another super chat. Correct, thank you. If I were Mikel, I'd stop the micromanagement at this point. I would literally just tell the players to go express themselves and have fun. Can't possibly get worse at this point. They need confidence.
Can I take a comment here?
Yeah, go on.
Cross Liner makes a really good point. Who are the creative midfielders for Liverpool then? But yeah, you make a great point. But that's not the point. Jurgen Klopp got the players that suit his system.
Yeah.
He got the players. Klopp might go, yeah, I don't want creative midfielders. He's actually on record as saying that he believes the style he plays is how his team creates. And that comes from getting the midfielders he wanted. Wijnaldum's his player. Fabinho's his player. Thiago is his player. Naby Keita's his player. Mo Salah is his player. Sadio Mane is his player. Andy Robertson, I think, is his player.
Yeah, they're all, yeah.
So he got the players he wanted.
Yeah, it's his system. It's his system. Now, the only thing...
Great point, but I hope...
Yeah, it's a good point. The argument to that is obviously, I think fans want to see the process and they're like, trust the process. They want to know, well, what's Arteta's so we can understand what he wants. But again, that takes time. Like, Klopp didn't come in his first season and light up the Premier League. So it takes time. We're still
He did better than this, though, in fairness. He did better than this.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's true.
I like this comment. I like this a lot.
The players are clearly over-drilled. It is limiting how they express themselves on the pitch. Spontaneous element to our game is gone. Thoughts? Yeah. Kevin Campbell and Robbie had a live last week. He discussed and he said it's not it's not the system, it's the players. And was my argument. Unfortunately, I wasn't involved in that live, but this was my argument. They may not be the system because the players obviously want to give their best. However, they have probably been over-drilled, and like you've mentioned here, Lezo, they've been over-drilled, so then they feel trapped. They feel trapped to express themselves. They want to stick to the game plan, play up a certain way. They may get pockets of space to do what they want, but that's not enough for the likes of players like Pepe to really go out and do what they need to do. Aubameyang to go out, right there, James. Aubameyang, players.
Mad comment. Carry on.
To go out and express themselves, like that is very true. And listen, we agree with that, and I've spoken about it many a times. I'm just going to check. Yep, all this and who's the okay. So Fizz 113. Just quickly, will AFTV look at their Reddit page, or is it not worth posting on it? People are starting to lose interest. Sell Ozil, buy Lingard and Ali. I wouldn't get Lingard.
Oh my god, no, I don't want any of that.
I won't even get Ali. That it has to be to guys. It has to be to a correct system, a correct way of playing. Like, I don't get me wrong, I don't know the process. However, you got to look at the team and really see what's needed, what's going wrong. There's so many issues that have been papered over, and we've been. I mean, it happens. We've been screwing it as fans for a while, but yeah, the movement of the urgency in the play. There's so many things. I don't think definitely Lingard and Ali are definitely the players to change that. And again, we need a whole load of signings, to get this and more and time. We're gonna need time. We're on the side of for Arteta right now. James, have you got more?
I did have one thing I wanted to say, and then we need to be balanced. Then we're going to move on to the Arteta out stuff as well.
Yeah.
Anyone tuning in thinking, "Wow, you guys, all you've been doing is defending Arteta and not looking at the bigger picture." We're just trying to play both sides. The last thing I was going to say is, anyone who wants Arteta sacked, I hear why they're making those calls, but the Arteta is so ingrained in the club now. We didn't just make a first team coach. We promoted him to manager in the summer. We have signed players that fit him. We brought in staff that fit him. We've let go of staff to go with what him and Edu believe is right for the future of this club. We can't ditch that after a few months. The one thing we can do is try and give them more money to try and address the future that they see for Arsenal and address the, what's the word? Let me put it this way, right? When Emery was struggling, you had Raul Sanyehi, Vinay, Edu all upstairs watching down, and it's like they were looking down at him, like, right, what are you going to do? How are you going to deliver? Edu and Arteta are a team here. It's both of them. So just getting rid of Arteta, you're not getting rid of the manager or the coach. You're getting rid of a whole system, the makeup of this club right now. Like, I know that sounds crazy because he's not even been in a year, but we've made that many changes to accommodate for him and what he believes is the right future for this club. We've got to give him the money to try and let him succeed. That's the last thing I'll say on that. I believe that he's doing a really poor job. He should be getting more out of this team, but we need to back him and give him more money first before we start calling for him to be sacked and starting a whole new process and a whole new everything.
Yeah.
Let's chat about the. Let
me just quickly say my opinion. Obviously, fans. Some people say AFTV is a part of the problem as well. Listen, we are giving the fans a voice. We are fans ourselves. I'm tired of seeing that. So leave that alone. Everyone's commenting. We're discussing. This is what we do as fans. We have a right to do it. Thank you very much on that note. And on Arteta in, before we move on to Arteta out, my again, people. It's early on in the season. Again, like other teams have been in this position a little bit higher, but they've had similar points around this time and end up being third or in the top four. So we need to remember that. That's one thing I would say. The only argument to that is what we're seeing at Arsenal is poor. The way we're playing, it's awful right now. So that's the only argument to it. But it is still early in the season. Arteta needs time. We've got to understand it's his first full season. It's just we want to see better performances from Arsenal. That is the argument. So on that note, if that's the case, sometimes we may have to look at the players. Okay, it's not just the manager. It's not always just a manager. Like I said, he's set out a certain way he's trying to play. It may not be working, but then I also have to turn my attention to the players because, if I'm honest, what I've seen from the players, it's just not been good enough. It's not been good enough. Comment about the philosophy, the touch map, and all that. That's not down to Arteta. Like Kevin Campbell says.
Well, I don't know. I think it kind of is as well, though.
What, the Arteta, the touch map and stuff, getting on the ball? I get
yes and no.
Yes and no to an extent. What I saw yesterday, players were hiding, James. Like, we saw it. Like players are standing between players, and they're not moving. They're not moving. They're literally standing between. It's an impossible. Like the want to get on the ball is not there from certain players, and at professional level, it's poor. So there's that, and like Kevin Campbell said, so always keep referencing him. Once the manager lets the players cross their line, it's up to them. So sometimes we've got to look at some of the players as well. These are players that play for their countries.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Can I take two comments after this one?
Willian Gabriel, Ceballos, was Mari, Saliba, Party in, Iwobi, he's gone. Check. You think? Oh, they've gone. You think 14th is justified? No. With the players we brought in, I just feel like Of course, it's not. But a lot of these players that we've mentioned here haven't actually. Gabriel, yeah, something. They haven't really been used. Okay, a lot of half of them been used. Half of we don't know what's going on with Saliba. Marius has been injured. Suarez. Some players, yeah, Cedric. I mean, they could fit in. They just haven't. I don't know. Listen, thank you, Nero, for your super chat. I'm missing a load now. Apologies, but yeah, James, take 2 comments that you want to take.
Yeah, there's 2 I want to say. Firstly, just because this is positive and it's just nice to hear. Like, I'm glad you guys are enjoying the show.
Sorry, can you bring it back up? Sorry, James.
Yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying the show. Appreciate it a lot. Like,
you sound emphatic, James.
I know. I genuinely,
thank you very much.
I genuinely mean it, but it's just like I feel so deflated about the club. And then I thought this led really nicely on to the Arteta out portion of the video. Oba was lied to.
Wow. Wow.
Now, I want to be fair.
Okay.
I know people are looking at me going, I'm just banging the Arteta drum, I'm blind, I'm deluded, I'm this, that. Okay, yeah, fine. We got to be fair about this. There are a lot of reasons now why Arteta might not be the man for the job. And we do have to address them, I think. I mean, do you agree? I mean, okay, let me put it this way. Yesterday, did your mind start to go, maybe he's not right? Did your mind start to maybe consider that?
Yeah. And there was a time but then I always look. I look to the yeah. I did have that thought. There was a time I had that thought, but I do look at what's being played in front of me, and I just think I was looking at the players like, what is happening? And do you know what it is, right? Remember, a lot of the things we've actually analysed and we've assessed, we've discussed. Like, again, the players that are most creative are at the back. They're playing the balls forward. There were so many issues. What happened? Like David Luiz, a head injury, should have came off straight away. Didn't. Then went to half time. He normally creates most of our forward passes. We brought on Rob Holding, who, in my opinion, was just not to the level. He didn't do the pass going forward. He was getting beat when it was 1-on-1. The midfield were getting skipped out because they don't do the creativeness. They don't create anything. They don't go forward. They don't play forward at all. I think Xhaka played. I haven't got this exact stat. I can look at afterwards. He probably played about 4 balls forward. Remember, every time he played forward, I was like, wow, that was a shock. Like, there was nothing going forward. Aubameyang had 8 touches yesterday. The least anyone's had in a game in the Premier League as a striker. 8.
Wow. Yeah, it's bad. This is an interesting comment. I'm going to bring up here. Kind of is that all right? Are we? Yeah.
Yeah, keep bringing them up.
RDR Film says, "Ain't it funny? All this chase for new players, but we were winning before these players came." Now you know I get what he's trying to say, but what I would say is one of the reasons we were praising Arteta so much was because we were saying things like, "Wow, look how much he's getting out of Xhaka. Look how much he's getting out of Mustafi." You know, Bellerin looks improved. Like we were saying, these players who have been criticised by the fan base for not being good enough. One of the reasons we were praising Arteta was because we knew he was getting a lot out of players that, quite frankly, we'd written off, and I don't think were really going to make any bigger comeback than they did. The second thing is when we beat Liverpool 2-1 back in July, it must have been in the league. Mm-hmm. He said in his post-match interview, Arteta, he said, look, like the gap is enormous. He said, we are miles off. And so he acknowledges that. And I think as a fan base, we all acknowledge that he was working miracles with what he had. But what's the saying? The chickens have come home to roost. Basically just means the inevitables happened, basically, which is that we're now seeing the true value of this squad. And they are, or at least the true value of this 11 that's going out. But you know, that was two Arteta in. We're trying to do the Arteta out stuff now. So I want to be fair to those people because we're meant to represent Arsenal fans, and there's a lot of Arsenal fans that believe Arteta's not right for the job, and we're here to like represent them and give their opinion and talk about that side too. So I want to be fair about them now. I want to focus. And people can say you're being negative. I'm just trying to be fair to everyone here.
Yeah, Gabriel's our second highest scorer in the Premier League this season, correct, to 2 goals. Arteta needs serious backing, or he'll never achieve his potential. The way the world is right now, the way that football is, you may be right there. His potential will never be seen because the quick chop and change of managers, the power of the fans, the power of the voices can really determine that. It depends. The only backing I think Arteta gets from the board is they like him because I think the board, he listens to the board, so they might keep him around for a bit longer. It's a business like that at times. So that is my argument to that. Soccer Stuff says our only good game was versus Man United. Even the games we've won, we have been poor. The manager board, some of these players won't bring us league success, and that's facts. Facts.
So on Arteta, right? We've got to ask questions of him. Why is it that I've defended him? I've said that the group aren't good enough. So I've said all these things, but I've got to put this out there. How do squads like Brighton, Southampton get more out of their players from an attacking and footballing perspective? They all play better football. They all look more entertaining. They all look like they can score a goal when they're chasing one. They all look like they can, pull a team apart and make something happen.
Apologies,
Graham
correct.
Potter, Hassan Hootel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought we read loads of super chat. Anyway,
No, we really read it, but missed one. Apologies, Carry on. What was you saying?
We've got to ask that of Arteta. How is he? When is he going to let the handbrake off and let the players just play their game and just say, go and I'll give you an example of yesterday's game, right? Where Arteta is completely at fault. The amount we sat back off Wolves. The amount we sat back. We weren't pressing them. We weren't suffocating. We're at home. They're on our turf. They should be worried about us. Oh, James, you're 99% Arteta out about what you're saying, but just not saying the thing. Just say it, mate. No, I'm not. Genuinely, I can't. Because I tell you why. Because the next manager's not going to get back to him. I'm going to do the exact same thing. So I'd rather just keep this guy who we built everything around, give him money, and see what he can actually do with it.
Yeah, this is. We spoke about this yesterday. We said we can keep chopping and changing managers, but it just puts us further back in the process of returning back to the great Arsenal that we love. It just prolongs it. I know you may think, no, bringing a manager it can happen quicker and it can save us, but we're too quick. This generation, the way football is, we're too quick to just cut our managers and bring in someone else. Don't get me wrong, I'm infuriated. Trust me. I want to sit down with Arteta and really just find out what's going on behind closed doors and really just scream at them, or be in a training session and just embarrass these players and say, you lot are not good enough. Release him. But we can't do that right now as fans. We have to just understand that. Well, we have to just see. I think going forward, at least given the January window, I think next week.
No, because I'm going to argue that, Tess, because
go on.
I've said all the Arteta in stuff, but I've vowed to represent the Arteta outers for this. Last part, and there are a lot of reasons why what we're looking at now are sackable performances. They're so bad. They are so bad. The substitutions were disgraceful yesterday. I said it by fan cam. They're absolutely disgraceful.
That's really true. The Willian coming off half time.
The Willian decision to come off. The David Luiz head injury took too long, and bringing on Laka with 10 minutes to go. Disgraceful. All shocking decisions. People take real issue with the Ozil thing. Now, I think there's more going on behind the scenes, but they make a good point. If there are, why is he lying to us? Why is he saying it's for footballing reasons? If he genuinely is for footballing reasons, then the guy's an idiot. How can you tell me that Ozil's not good enough?
It's not footballing reasons. There's no.
Of course it's not. Of course it's not footballing reasons.
They're treating us like idiots. If anyone believes that, it's a joke. He trains with the first team every day. Every young player that has an interview recently, the first thing they say is how outrageous Ozil was in training, like how he plays. He's technically above everyone. He's so advanced. So guys,
But then why are we being lied to? That's a fair question that the Arteta are asking.
They're bored. They have control over Arteta, and I mean he's out of his depth when it comes to arguing back against the board. 100%.
Why didn't Saliba get out on loan? Are Edu and Arteta and Edu led this transfer window? Are they incompetent? In the grand scheme of things, Sorry, go on.
No, so I say the Saliba thing. I have no answer. I don't know. Saliba must have slept with one of the board's misses. I don't have a clue. I don't know why he's not been involved. I honestly have no clue. No, for
Sorry,
real.
I just heard what you said.
Yeah, bro. Because look, I don't know why he's been frozen out as well. Like they're treating him like Ozil. I don't know. That's one thing I have no clue on. We've been digging for it for ages.
Guendouzi, why did we never find out what went wrong there? He's left the club now. He's gone out on loan. Yeah, he might come back. Why do we not know what happened there? Why did Sebastian Luiz get in a bust up? And Sebastian denies it, and then Arteta says no big deal, and then he says it's going to be an inquest. Now, by the way, I'm not saying my opinions. I'm putting everything to you and to the video, to this stream, everything that Arteta have said to me, and it's becoming very, very difficult to argue against these things. It is. Oh, this makes me laugh. Where is it? Shane's going off today. Well, I have to. I mean, how
yeah, we have.
not?
I mean, imagine today, and imagine next weekend if we don't get a result. Like, you're right. I mean, there's again a lot of people are going to say we're being. I don't know. Actually, they might say we're being too harsh, but we're not. As fans, we're allowed to have a discussion. We're allowed to ask questions. There's many questions from yesterday. There's many questions previously that we spoke about. I spoke about urgency since we started at AFTV in the play. That's down to manager being coached. The players may not be good enough going forward, but we've seen changes in the formations to go forward. It's been poor. I just want to take this question. What's this? How's this all? From looking at the team from attacking point of view, when I watch them in the league, players don't understand the type of runs they need to make and break down the defence. Very stagnant. Now, again, there was a time when Saka got played the ball into his feet. Aubameyang went to make the run in behind. Saka first time touched it to him. Again, that backs up your point there. They don't know what they're doing going forward. They don't know how players are making runs. I don't believe. No, that is down. It's down to in training, coaching. Yeah, I'm getting so wound up. Yeah, no, Zeke, you're fully right. They don't understand the runs. There was a time when Aubameyang made a run in behind. We played it from the fence over the top. I was saying at that time, our creative players again are coming from the back. We're completely missing out the midfield, completely missing them out. And it's easy to defend a ball from the back, getting clipped over to Aubameyang. The keeper read it. He was off his line quick. The defence can see the ball coming. They have enough time to assess it. It needs to come from the midfield, but we don't have that. We don't have that. There's no play being built up, and we're not getting balls from the midfield. Aubameyang's being nullified. Me and James did a breakdown of the goals that we've scored in the Europa League, going down the wing and cutting it back. Like in the Premier League, hasn't worked. It just hasn't worked. It's I think that Arteta got that from Pep. Pep does it really well. He probably has the players to do it. We clearly haven't. We haven't been able to do it once.
Arteta needs to find a way to win games with this squad, and he did. He did in the short term when he first arrived. He found a system, but the problem is he gets too fixated on them. He was playing this sort of like, left-sided formation for weeks and weeks, and we all knew it was wrong. He's changed the formation, and we actually look like we might create the odd chance more or whatever, but it's still terrible. We're still, we criticise him for playing three at the back all the time and being really boring. He tries to open up, and look how many shots we concede, and look at the results. They're terrible. Like, I've got to be honest. Like, I feel caged up. I feel trapped because I know that some of the biggest issues at this club won't be addressed for a long time still. The January window to bring in some of the midfielders that Arteta wants. And by the way, that's a generous, optimistic prediction, because January, I think I'll be surprised if we even get one creative or let's say attacking option for Arteta. We need 2 or 3, maybe 4. That's going to take 3 or 4 windows.
Yeah, the only argument about that is obviously the board are clearly freezing out Ozil. So like I've said this previously, to fully freeze out Ozil, you'll bring in more creative midfielders. So they might surprise us and say, do you know what, Arteta, what creative midfielders you want, we'll get them, so we can just get rid of the situation. Or they might not, but that's the only way that will happen.
They had all summer, Cecil. They had the summer to do that. That's the problem. And then I was talking about feeling caged in, and then you got players like Mustafi, I like Luiz, so I hate putting him in this bracket, but he is. Socrates, Ozil, big wages that will depart in the summer and will hopefully give us some flexibility. That's in the summer. Can't afford another year like this. So there are some serious issues. I think Arteta and his football and his systems are a big part of it, but I just don't think that sacking the manager is the answer. If he was being backed and given the sort of money that we've seen other managers get, and he was delivering these performances, I would understand. I'd understand. I said, you got what you want, and I'm not seeing any improvements. I don't believe he's got enough of what he wants. Fair, Partey, Gabriel, decent signings, but that's 2. There's 11 players on a pitch. It's not enough. I don't know, man. You can see I'm getting to the dejected part of the video now. Like I've said everything I wanted to say. Has it given you a chance to form like a definitive opinion for you, Cecil, on this sort of stuff? Or
I could give my fan cam, but we'll be here for another hour. I could literally break down every moment of what's wrong, and I don't want to really disgrace players. I really don't want to be that guy right now. I know probably fans, that's what they want. You know, the troops' anger, the blood, the that, and they're going in at players. But you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm vexed. I'm doing the media approach. I have to be I'll try to be the Robbie here on this side and just mediate and let fans have their opinions, their say. Same with you, and same with you, James. We've just got to let them discuss and us break down our opinions, but not too heavily. I think I don't like it. I backed Arteta from the beginning. I said give him time. I'm not Arteta out yet. I'm embarrassed by the way we're playing. I'm infuriated by the way we're playing. I can't believe, the players at times, the way they're. I know they understand how big the badge is, but it's like they're just not. It just doesn't seem like they're playing. They're not making moves off the ball. They're not wanting the ball. There's times I see some fight at times, but it's just misplaced. I think there's so many problems within the club. So many problems. I'm lost for words. Yesterday's performance, you just saw me sat there watching, like, I didn't know what to say. It's not an Arsenal I recognise at all. I think there's a long way we have to get back to the level we were once at. If I'm honest, there's a long way to go. Karat says, agree with you, James, 100% James. I think we should revert to a 3 at the back because there's a reason Arteta was deploying it. It was because the squad isn't balanced enough to play with 4 at the back.
But then, so thank you, Kirat, for agreeing, and I hear everything you're saying. But we spoke about this on one of our shows, Cecil. There are internal potential solutions to all these things. There really are. Yeah. Mesut Ozil. If I don't think it is. If it's for footballing reasons, then bring him back because you're wrong. Yeah. Those footballing reasons are wrong. So bring him back.
Yeah, bring him back to the end of summer.
Right, that's the first internal solution. The 4 at the back thing. I hear what you're saying, Kirat. William Saliba. I've barely watched the guy, and I know that he is better suited to play a 4 at the back than what we have because he's fast, he's strong, he killed it in France. He was awesome. He's been recognised as one of the best young centre back prospects I've ever heard be spoken about. I mean, the French media were raving about him, and he's, pissing about in the under-23s. It's a joke. That's another internal solution. Emil Smith-Rowe, he went to the Championship and he looked good. And anyone who's saying, well, what does that mean? Where did Mason Mount learn his trade? In the Championship. He went to Derby, he killed it, and he came back ready for Chelsea. So don't tell me Smith-Rowe couldn't do the same. There are potential internal solutions to all our problems.
Yeah, the argument to that, James, there'll be Eddie Nketiah went to Leeds and he come back and he's not been firing. But we haven't given Emil Smith-Rowe a chance. I suppose he hasn't been given the same chance.
Yeah, so fine.
You have an argument. Yeah, you have an argument there. I think the 4 at the back, I don't even think that was the issue. I think David Luiz and Gabriel, now we haven't got David Luiz because he's probably going to be injured for a bit. He should be back for Sunday, but next week even. But I don't think that was the issue. I think that defence at the 4 at the back was kind of sound. Again, it's in front of them. Obviously, actually, no, Bellerin as well. Woo! Yep, No, we're gonna. Yeah, okay, yeah, maybe three at the back. But I think the partnership of Luiz and Gabriel, they've been good for us. Gabriel's been solid. He got ripped once where it should have been a penalty yesterday. That's all I can really fault him for. But he got the header, he got the goal. Luiz, again, he's our most creative player. I feel bad to say to drop a player when he gives us the only forward balls in our team. So yeah, Goresh Kumtar says totally disagree. Players are employees and should play for the team. If it's about mates, then leave the club and form a team with your mates and play in the park.
Can I take a comment here?
Yeah, go on.
Arteta is our man. Thank you, Kazi, for this comment. I can't believe you pathetic idiots are re-debating whether he should go when he's proven he knows how to beat teams like Wolves, Liverpool. He's trying something now. Well, he lost his last 2 games to Wolves and Liverpool. But by the way, Kazi, I know you're clearly Arteta in, and I hear that. Tune into this sort of first half hour of the show where we defend Arteta. I think you tune into the part where we're trying to sort of represent the Arteta out team, and we want to be balanced. So yeah, just go back. I don't want to be rude or argue or anything. Just go back and watch that, because I think we'll say things that you probably enjoy more.
Yeah, the only thing on Arteta out, the campaigners as well here. Obviously, they're not going to be massively campaigning right now. The only thing I can say is, like we said halfway through, Arteta is in a position now that he will have no experience in. Not 1 ounce of experience down the bottom half of the table. It's his first season as a full manager. Yeah, he's. I don't know how he survives here. This is my worry. This is my serious worry right now. Like, okay, yeah, we have Tottenham's and we have big games. He can motivate the players and tell them how big it is, how big the occasion is. I'm sure they're going to be made aware by fans already. We know DT is going to be messaging the players and stuff, so we know the fans are going to. They know the rivalry. So yeah, I just don't know. I just don't know how they're going to cope. How Arteta is going to cope, and it's a lot of fans like Curtis. They say like this role was too big for him. He's out of his depth. This is where we're going to really see if he really is out of his depth, because like I said, he's never been in this position, and yeah, he's going to really have to pull something out of the bag. Yeah, because I think the players want to.
Sorry, we did read this, Goresh. Just letting you know, we did read it.
Yeah, we did read it. We did read it, and we'll really see if Arteta is out of his depth. We really will in the coming games. So the Arteta out ban, this is probably the time where we have to really assess what he can do as a manager. You know what I mean? Because it's difficult. This is going to be the most difficult phase of his career, is trying to pull the team back. And like I just said, I think the players do want to play for him. I don't see why they wouldn't. The only arguments is what's been going on behind closed doors. But as a player, I don't think that's going to make you say, you know what, I'm not going to go out and play for this manager. Like, the only player I can see arguing that case is Pepe, but he's not even involved at the moment. Right.
Fair point, yes.
Guys, we're going to keep going. I know we are running, but let's just go through comments. Let's talk about them. What is the process? Oh, sugar, they're flying in very fast. What is the process? Discuss. I just missed it. The process, on my behalf, for what I know, I don't know right now. Haven't seen it clear enough. I think one of his process, or one of his things to do was sort of the defense, which I think he's done. Process now, I'm assuming, is working on going forward. It's very early to understand the manager's full process. I wouldn't have known Klopp's at this time of him being at Liverpool. His full process, that is. I would have seen the likes of what he's trying to change and implement, but I don't know his full process yet. He hasn't really had enough time, Arteta, to give his full process. We're now on discussion part of the show. We've done Arteta in, we've done Arteta out. Let's talk. The Arteta process is a buzzword. Very right. It's very, very right. Arteta overthinks. Yep, I believe that.
I think he does. I'm going to say this one last time just before we chat about Partey, guys. It's been a long video. It's been a long stream.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize. Sorry, I didn't realize. Sorry. Yeah, go on, James.
Yeah, no, we're closing on an hour. I just want to say, like, Cecil and I have our opinions. Mine is that Arteta is severely underachieving, but that I'm not ready to get rid of him until I've seen him given the players he wants and given proper backing financially in terms of incomings and everything, that's where I stand on it. But we've tried to explain why people are Arteta in, and we've tried to explain why some people are Arteta out. And I think both have a lot of really good points. And like, I see the fan base turn on each other a lot, and you sort of hate people who are in or hate the ones who are out. Like, the point is, we all want Arsenal to do well, right? So, you know, something's got to give, whether it's a Kroenke spending more money, whether it's a managerial change, something does need to drastically change in the club. Hopefully we see it soon. Anyone who's watched this video, tuned in a bit late and thinks we're too negative, go watch the beginning. Anyone who's, you know, only watched the beginning who won't have seen this bit, you know, or the Arteta out, let's say, who don't feel they've been represented, like we've tried to do that as well. So hopefully you guys have found it balanced to a degree. Obviously it's hard not to include our opinion, but yeah, it is an emotional one, this one. Like, it's not nice to be talking about these sort of things. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Would you say there's no identity, James, within our club and people watching?
Say
identity.
That one more time, sorry.
Identity. Would you say we have no identity right now? Would you say there is an identity within a club? It's just not being.
No, absolutely. And this is one of the biggest gripes I have with Arteta, is that we have lost an identity. I completely agree. With Wenger, when we went on the trophy drought and we weren't at the level we wanted to be in terms of challenging for titles, we still played great football. We were a classy football club, and you know what? You could laugh at us, but you couldn't hate us. And I really, that's something I took a lot of pride in. You could laugh at Arsenal, but that's kind of all you could get. You couldn't hate the club. Even our biggest rivals, you know, maybe the few annoying fans or whatever. Everyone has them, but you know, we now, it's not just an on-field thing. There's so many off-field issues that don't sit well with me. So yeah, I absolutely think we've lost our identity, and that was one of the things that Arteta wanted to address, and that is one of the areas where I agree with the Arteta outers. But I don't think that changes overnight. So yeah, that's my answer to that question.
So correct again. Thank you for your super chat. Now I'm with James in the same opinion. I don't want to say Arteta out just now, right now, but there's a lot of questions and a lot of things I need answered, which I don't think we'll get. But these are simple questions like this. So Karat says, decisions implement his philosophy. Why would you send Saliba to the under-23s? I need to know the answer to that. And the only thing I can agree with the Arteta outers is that I believe Arteta is learning on the job right now. I don't agree that Arsenal should be the club where Arteta learns on the job. We are and one of the biggest clubs in the world. I don't think he, as great as a career he's had, I don't think he has the we shouldn't be the team that he should be learning on the job with. So so I think he should be learning to answer some of these questions that Karat is saying. Why send him to the under-23s? Oh, and now he wants to go back on loan. Go back to the club he was at before. I don't know the answer to that. I need to know the answer for that. Why would you loan Guendouzi? Now I think that's due to attitude problems. And if I'm honest, I've seen at clubs many a times, attitude can really affect your place within a club at every level. So that's that answer. If it leaves you short, you're right. But loads of players at the moment have been left out. When it leaves you short, Saliba's one of them as well. Why bench when he did last in January? In January. I don't know the answers for that right now. And then why not play Emile Smith-Rowe? I mean, I think he's doing his youngsters bit by bit. He's done Willock, gave him the opportunity. I don't think he's been terrible, Willock, but yeah, I think he's doing it bit by bit. I think we will see Emile Smith-Rowe later on down in this season. So again, it's that time.
I think we need to wrap up, Cecil.
Yeah, we're supposed to be in a meeting with the team, but we've really overrun. Is there anything you want to say about Partey? Because I'm sure, just quickly, did you want to give
in one line, he's out for a couple more games, I think, maybe a bit more. So let's keep an eye on that. We don't have an exact time frame, but yeah. Yeah,
and I'd say that that's now become a serious injury because we got told it was a minor injury to his quad. We may be looking at towards the end of the year that he'll be returning, because if it's a quad strain or a pull of a quad muscle, then yeah, that's 6 weeks from when he was out. I think he was out 2-3 weeks ago, so that's another 3 weeks. Yeah, we're looking towards the end to Christmas time. He may make his return, which I'm sure you're all aware is a big worry. as if we haven't got enough to worry about, that is fully up there. And of course, it'll be Arsenal where he receives his first ever injury, major injury. So yeah, there's that. Opinions on sending young players like Willock to face the media right now. No, I don't think it's the right time for them to do that. But I believe he has. Someone said in the comments that he's come out and said that there's not enough fluidity in Arsenal's play. So I'm going to try and find that interview or where he says that, just so we can update you guys tomorrow morning. Sorry, my voice is very flat, and I'm going to now have to bring the show to a close because, like, we are very late. We're supposed to be in a meeting. Thank you all for tuning in this morning. We have these debates. We give you guys a say. We give both opinions and both sides. Thank you for watching and being regulars. We're back again tomorrow at 10 a.m. We'll probably pick up where discussion left off. Once I've assessed everything and really looked at stats, I probably will give my opinion. Don't slander me for not giving my opinion. I'm just, yeah, I don't want to be, I've given enough of my opinion in certain senses. If you can go back and rewatch all our content to hear what I have to say. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to leave with the brand new show on the app called How's Your Touch. Tune in, download the app, get involved. Thanks for watching. Take care. Have a good rest of the day, guys. We'll speak to you soon.
First challenge is penalty shootout, where we put influencers and the fans and me, the host, Cecil G, against each other to see who's really about this ball life.
Wait, I'll take you. Don't rob me. No, I'll take you on.
Go on.
Here we go.
Oh!